Alright, today I did the Jimmy Stewart Airport Runway 5K. I think that's what it's called. Finished second overall in like 18 and a half-ish, I don't know, 1840, somewhere in there, I don't know. Wasn't really my best time. Trying to think how to, running on no sleep, and I'm definitely tired. Got 4 hours before the race yesterday, the Jackson Township yesterday. Then I went up to Ironstone 100K and volunteered right after, so I didn't get like no nap in, and then I didn't get home at 1:30 last night, so I didn't get to bed to 2:30, and I got up at 5:30 this morning, so I got 3 hours last night, so 7 hours the last 2 nights. So I'm kind of drained. Yeah, you can hear it in my voice. I can definitely feel it in my body right now. But this race today, it's I can't remember. It's some kind of helping kids, like aeronautically, I think is the correct word, classes and stuff. But it's on the runway out of the Indiana County Airport during their air show. Well, not during their air show, before their air show starts back up this Sunday morning. So we had to start at 7:15, which is kind of early for a road race. Not for an ultra or nothing, but just for like a 5K. It's a little early. It's all on, well, the runways. We'll call them runways. I guess one's called a tarmac, taxi, runway, whatever. Don't ask me what the difference is right now. But it was a pretty decent crowd. Fun crowd. It's hard to explain because you're basically just doing like 2 turns on the runways to get your mileage in, because since it's so long, you really don't have to do much more. It was a little bit of a change this year from last year. So we started on the closest one near the, I guess, terminals. Don't ask me the runway terminology, but the closest to like where you park at to get on a plane, we'll put it that way. Do like a quick, well, not a quick, but a couple tenths run down, then we hit the middle runway, and then hit the farthest one out, and then loop back around back to like where we started at, coming into the actual like airport terminal way for the last like 10th. Yeah, but that first, before we hit the first turn, it's a little grassy in sections, so the other 2 are pretty paved, but the first one's definitely has some cracks in it, and it's grassy, but they're not really going fast on that one, so I guess they don't need it nicely paved, is how to put it. Either way, whatever. So there was a younger guy there. We had a pretty good race for the first half of the race. We basically took off together. I led for maybe a couple tenths. He drafted off me for a little bit, came up beside me, and then just took over. I mean, I told him during the race, I was like, listen, I'm tired. I was like, if you could drop a 17:30 or better, I was like, you got me, because that's my PR. So I just let him know, because I knew I wasn't feeling it, and he looked like he was pretty fast, so I knew he was, had a 17:30 or better in him. So yeah, but I did hang with him for, we'll say, half the race. When we made that second turn, like by the water stop, like for some reason, I don't know what it was, but my chest, like the whole way, we'll say like where your heart's at, like the whole way across, like where your heart's at, just felt so tight, and it like engulfed. It wasn't like out of breath, or because like I was redlining, because I was looking at my heart rate, and it was still only like 155 ish, 160 at the time, so definitely wasn't red line. It was just all of a sudden I just couldn't like breathe, and it got tight. Still a little tight now, but like my chest cavity just wouldn't like open up. So I don't know, maybe if I'm just tired or just like from being out at the aid station last night helping, did something. But either way, I knew I wasn't right. Like I just kept like wincing because my face was just tightening up from it being tight in my chest. And then he just first just gradually kept pulling away, looking strong. Nice kid, nice guy. I don't know how old he is, so we'll just call him a nice guy. Since he said he was like out of school, so definitely a nice guy. Fun talking to him after, but yeah, he just kept pulling away from me, and I just kept slowing down. I was doing 6:15, 6:30s after the water station, and I should have been dropping like low 5s because yeah, so it's downhill after the water stop before we make the turn to come back to where we started. But the middle section's like the uphill, so the first turn's the uphill. It's like got 120, I think I had 127 feet up, so it'd be equal coming back. Yeah, so you got, it's, even though it's runways aren't necessarily flat, but so you got like 100 feet gain. So like that after the water stop where my chest got tight, it was downhill. I should have been running easier and been able to do those low 5s, but I was doing like a 6:15 and I just couldn't get going. I didn't feel no wind or any like resistance. It just I don't know, maybe just out of energy or whatnot, but either way, I sucked today. And then after coming in that home stretch, after my chest loosened up a little bit, he was just so far ahead, I just pulled back and hung back because there was no point in trying to chase or go for time because I wasn't going to hit a PR or anything. So I just basically hung it up and came in like an 18.5, 1840. And that's after dropping three in a row, like 5Ks in the 17.5 range on harder courses. My goal actually was coming in today, the PR. I thought I could do it if I had the energy and if I had the sleep. I probably could have, because the weather was in this low 60s when we started and chilly. So it was definitely conducive for me to PR today, even though it's not my type of course to PR on. I definitely, the way I've been racing, build up for it, and that was my goal. But hey, things happen. Today just wasn't my day to do a PR. I still wouldn't have won if I had a PR. The kid was still faster, but having him there, if I had my A game, would have helped tremendously, and I was looking forward to that. But whatever. Another crappy race recap for me, 2 days in a row. I've been slipping on these race caps, giving you shitty ones. So yeah, that's that. Still a fun race, good crowd. Everybody seemed like they were having a good time or had a good time. Good mix of new people. Probably about 50-50 people I'd never seen before. So new blood coming in, running today, which is nice to see some new people racing. And then the other half are us old heads that been around and do a bunch of races and stuff like that. But doing the race before the air show opened, I got to see some of the planes, not flying, but just out. So that was fun as well. I will post a crappy race course preview since I couldn't actually get, well, I probably should have ran back out if I had the energy and GoPro'd it, but I just stood in one spot and just finger pointed like what we do. So it's not going to be my best race course preview, but at least you have an idea if you ever want to do one or do it. So whatever. I'm going to go to bed as soon as I get home.